Hello, everybody. Today, I saw an article that makes me feel that young people nowadays, BKS. What's BKS? Anybody? Yeah, BKS Bokiasi. So let's get on with the topic to understand why Mr. Lu feel that way, okay? So, have you all seen this article today? This article talk about Singaporeans now getting much younger when they buy their first condo. In fact, way below 35 years old. And that's a very interesting trend. Well, how rich are Singaporeans nowadays? I was asking myself. Well, in the article they talk about it. So the median income of fully employed young residents between 25 to 29 years old, it's about 4,004 to $4,500 times two husband and wife, so it becomes $9,000. So 10,000. And you're between 30 to 34 years old, you add another 2,000, about 11 to $12,000 a month. That's a lot of money, and excellent, right? And you guys have actually made a lot of money, and compared to my time, I'm very proud of you. And I'm also very concerned because many of them has jumped to become private property owners, and and the main reason why they do that is not because what Mr. Lu thought. Mr. Lu thought that is because they want to, save it, want to have face. Yeah, when staying in private property, it might look glamorous, look like a social status. No, actually, Singaporeans are not that. This described in article. The main reason why a lot of Singaporeans are now, dashing into private property is because they believe that property is the ultimate investment. Okay, and it's because private property, will always go up. Private property will generate passive income. And in Singapore, where land is so scarce, private property will never lose money, right? It will always go up. And that's captured in the article, actually, right? It's widely viewed as a stable investment asset among Singaporeans, and there is a lot of opportunity for capital appreciation and passive income. Well, but by doing that, I was reflecting, actually, how much loan do they have to take? Now, clearly, when you buy a condo, and there are no cheap condo nowadays, no cheap condo, okay? Most of the condo are $1 million condos, $1 million condos. So we're looking at, let's say, $1 million loan, 3.5% interest, 30 years to pay. The husband and wife to pay about $4,500 a month. At that kind of monthly mortgage, it will wipe out completely your CPF, right? CPF will be completely wiped out. Some people say, oh, CPF, not real money, lah. CPF won't see it. Well, upon retirement, you will feel it, right? So you will feel the loss of a CPF when you see your friends, especially in the 1865 group. And please join us in 1865 group, under Lu 1865. There you will see many people, becoming CPF multi-millionaires and things like that. But let's get on with it, right? So if you take a $1.5 million loan, your monthly mortgage is about $6,000 to $7,000 or so, right? That's a lot. That's even your income is household incomes are $15,000. It will still constitute a huge amount of money, right? Way beyond your CPF and eats in a lot of cash. What's the problem with this approach, right? So the problem with this approach, and in my feel, is that it actually is actually very stretchy for the young couple, very, very stretchy for the young couple. And not only that, is they're now overweighted on one asset. I'm not beating up property, don't get me wrong, okay? I think that, there is certain level of danger and risk that young people are going into because they are chasing what I call a recency effect. Now, what's a recency effect? A recency effect is because the private property has seen a huge boom in recent years. Okay, recent years. So a lot of people dash into it. Same for stocks, same for Bitcoin, same for a lot of assets. Well, in stocks, so recently I met a financial coach that teach people how to invest. I was trying to sign up my son for his course on technical analysis. He told me that when the market was down, nobody attends his business. But recently, when the market is now going all-time high after all-time high, everybody rush into his classes and his business is booming. It's the same. Everybody loves to chase market when it's going up, right? And private property, like all properties, like all investment assets, have ups and downs. We have seen that over the years, especially those who have lived my years, right? 40, 50, 60 years old. You have seen it, you have experienced it. Okay. And when you do things like that, um, you are putting yourself at a serious risk. Now, let's assume that it is true that property will always rise and never fall. Let's just assume that, okay? Let's assume that. But you still have two huge risks. Two huge risks. Young men, young ladies, please not be blind to this. Two huge risks. The first huge risk is you can lose your job. Do you realize that? You can lose your job. How can you lose your job? Well, economy may be bad, but even economy is good, your company may be bad. Okay. And second is that, you can get backstabbed. Some of you in corporate life, you must experience it. You can get backstabbed by your peers. You can backstabbed by your boss. You can backstab even by your subordinate, right? You can lose your relevance, when you get technology disrupted, or you could have some health issue. The second problem is that when you are heavily leveraged, and I'll talk about this many times, you have career immobility. You cannot, throw the letter at your boss and say, "我不干了," I don't like you and things like that, right? You are stuck to it. You're not happy with your job. You still have to stuck to it because you have a huge mortgage to pay. So your career, like all investment assets, have ups and downs also, right? Ups and downs. Ask those people who have in a career for 10, 20, 30 years, you'll see that corporate lives are becoming more and more stressful, right? More and more stressful. So it's not so easy to manage. So you do not need to put yourself through this kind of unnecessary pressure and this kind of financial risk. Well, in conclusion, I just want to encourage young people, you could achieve a life of wonderful career of your passion, of your choosing, and have a good home that's within your financial reach, okay, at the appropriate time. Don't stretch yourself in young time. At appropriate time, in the beginning, you can pick a BTO, and then you slowly move to a private condominium at a time that you can afford it, or even landed house, but don't overstretch yourself. And if you invest well, be it in your CPF, be it in stocks, whatsoever, you diversify portfolio, you can still become very, very rich. I've seen this in many people who have done this. Great careers, great houses, great investments, and I'm living on this life myself because I learned from them. I spent a whole of almost 10 years coaching everybody how to do that. Okay. And demonstrating to you so that you can live a life of fulfillment and joy without much stress. So I hope that young people, before you commit yourself to a lot of financial stress by taking on a huge loan, do think about the consequences. And let me present you the alternative. You can still do well in life without committing yourself to this kind of stress. Okay. So if you appreciate what I said, please give a like and subscribe. Okay? Join us in our Telegram channel, Lu1965, and I'll see you in a day or two. Okay? Bye-bye.